what you got. Hey, everyone. How's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a last seat number 20 with ONCHAIN Labs with the co-host, all dolled up from SHARBI over here. And we do have Ben from ONCHAIN talking to us about new technology, new ways to buy daCat and SHIRO and other tokens, and how it all came together. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Good morning, my folks. How y'all doing?
Fantastic. Really well.
Good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
It's actually Tuesday where I am, but it's bang on midnight. So it's 1 minute past. So it's Tuesday just.
Oh yeah. Tell us where you are. Are you in New Zealand?
No, I'm in the Philippines as we speak. But tomorrow I've got to fly over to Thailand for a crypto convention there, and then off to Singapore for the big one, Token 2049, the biggest crypto event in the world.
Oh yeah, I think I have that in my or I thought I had it in my calendar. What's the date for that Token 2049?
That is October, so it's about 7-8 weeks away.
Oh yeah, the 1st and the 2nd, right?
That's correct. Yeah, biggest. Yeah. I went last year. Absolutely colossal. I go around all the events around the world, and by far, Singapore Token 2049 is by far the biggest.
Did you go to Lisbon like a month or two ago? They had a.
So no, we did Philippine Blockchain Week a few weeks ago. So we just done that. We had a massive side event in the event. So we had a boxing event, believe it or not. We had some famous boxers come along, and it was all broadcast, everything. And so literally the Philippine Blockchain Week finished at 5 p.m. and at 6 p.m. in the same hall as the whole, everyone was there, thousands of people. And we had this massive boxing event. It was really, really cool. Very stressful, very stressful. It wasn't as easy as we thought. And when you're dealing with lots of people and doctors and referees and judges and, of course, the boxers itself, the announcers, it was a big, big thing. But we got it over the line eventually.
That's awesome. I haven't been to one of the like YouTuber boxer or the crypto boxer things. Those do seem fun. When my back gets healthy again, I would love to do it. The reason I asked about Lisbon is the non-fungible conference. Akomi was there, and that's one of the people I would like to get and use ONCHAIN because they have, as of right now, only 1.27 million in volume, and they are one of the best tokens on base, being able to have licenses from Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, DC, Lamborghini, etc. So really trying to get more accessibility to that token. They did just go on Binance Wallet. So they were on Coinbase Wallet. Now they're on their Web3 wallet for Binance, which is really cool. Can you tell us a little bit of a difference on why communities, what advantages you have to offer them as opposed to being on a Coinbase wallet or a Binance wallet? Like what makes you guys a little different?
Yeah, so I'll run through right at the beginning and go through the whole spiel if that's okay. It takes about 5-10 minutes. I do apologize.
Sure.
You can butt in at any point. So us at ONCHAIN, many years ago, we all started in crypto, and we all jumped on these exchanges to start with, didn't we? That's how we all dipped our toe in the water. Someone was on Binance, someone had crypto.com, different ones out there. Me personally, I went onto Binance, and then slowly but surely, you sort of go down that road of DeFi. I'm guessing all of you remember the SafeMoon days when SafeMoon blew up. Everyone started to pour into DeFi, and it was great. But the biggest problem you have with DeFi from a customer point of view and a project point of view is how do you get new liquidity into your token? And what we're finding over the last, 5, 6, 7 years, wherever it's been, is everyone does the same stuff. Everyone sends people to a swap project. And it's just the norm, to a Uniswap or a Pancake swap, depending on what DEX you're on. But on these swaps, you can't actually buy your token. You can swap your token, hence why they're called Uniswap. And you can only swap it for your native coin. So if you're on Ethereum blockchain, you can only swap it to Ethereum. You can't use any other payment method. But that's not how the real world works. When I go to Amazon and buy a Hoover on Amazon, or a vacuum, as I've been told today, it's not called a Hoover, it's called a vacuum. You turn up with any payment method and you can buy it. You don't need to buy the Amazon coin or an Amazon credit note to then buy the Amazon product. But unfortunately, that's how DeFi is. DeFi, you have to on-ramp to Ethereum, hold this native. It's a credit note to a certain extent. No one actually wants to hold it, to then go on to the other end and buy your token of your choice. But why can't you just buy the token directly? And that was our biggest thing. And then more we unlocked over the last few years, the more we realized how fragmented everything was. Literally about a year ago, I said to my mum, let's buy some tokens. And I had to hand hold her all the way through this painful process. It took about 2 hours, believe it or not. And she had a billion questions. And it was literally, I had to...
What token were you buying for her that it took 2 hours?
It was the flow. It was the flow to get to the token. So you got literally, just say Ben token for argument's sake, right? So you had to go onto Binance. She had to KYC on Binance. She then had to wait, also because she's from the UK, a period of time before she could actually buy. Then she had to come back. And then once she then came back, she then done the KYC. And then once she'd done that, she then brought the Ethereum. It took about 10, 15 minutes to land into her Binance. And then I had to explain to her, you now have to now download a wallet. And she was like, why? I said, no, well, Binance don't support every single token. And there's tens of thousands in DeFi, and Binance only hold 200-300. She's like, okay. So now I had to then send that Ethereum to her wallet. And she's like, okay, now what? Then I said, now you now go on a DEX. What's a DEX? Oh, went on this thing, and it's like warning pop-ups and slippages. She's like, what is all this? Like, this is so fragmented. And I'm like, yeah, this is what we're trying to solve. We're trying to clear the path where people can just turn up to any token and literally 2 clicks buy that token directly. But then it evolved over time. The payment rail, we called it open. It's called an on-chain payment network. And this payment network that we built and patented, we realized can do a lot more. Not just fiat to token. It can actually swap anything with anything. It can have these payment rails where you can swap Ben token on Ethereum to George token on BSC. One click instant with zero bridging involved. And then I had to explain to her about bridging. And she was like, what's bridging? She's like, well, you have to sell the token back to the DEX, and then you have to then bridge it across. Takes 10-15 minutes. The bridges can break, blah 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 blah, and then you got to go back on another DEX. She's like, I can't just swap token for token, and it's
That's
amazing because that's the dream. And I was explaining to her, this is why people stay on exchanges, because how exchanges work is you can just buy, swap, and sell. That's why they're beautiful, and this is why every token wants to be listed on all these exchanges. But the problem with exchanges, as we all know, it's monopolized. So literally, they have all the cards. They own your liquidity. If they close down or they shut down tomorrow, your tokens are all gone. All that money is gone. It's centralized. Also, the hardest thing about exchanges is the listing fees. The listing fees are just nuts, depending on which exchange you go on. And there's loads of them. There's low exchanges, high exchanges, and you could be giving up to 20% of your supply, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on which exchange. Some of them are 50 grand, 40 grand, 100 grand. They're all different. Then you've got to pay for market makers. And people that know what market makers are, it's to keep your volume keep going, because if you have low volume, they delist you. And it's just constant negativity. And we've gone for DeFi for a reason. We like decentralization, but no one has still built this, I don't know what you want to call it, a decentralized exchange where you can just buy any token instantly with fiat money. You can swap anything with anything, and you can sell it back to your bank. Token straight to bank. No one has built this, and the reason why they haven't built it is it's flipping hard. But yeah, this is what ONCHAIN we're trying to solve all these fragmented ways. And after a few years, as you guys know who are listening in as well, probably, we released a few weeks ago the first in history Rabbit's director token. No one said it could be done. We've done it. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, this underlying technology that we patented can do more, and that will come out over the next months or years, and it will turn into this beautiful decentralized exchange where you can just buy, swap, and sell. These token projects won't have to send people just to a swap. They don't have to get listed on an exchange to get the exchange features anymore, saving hundreds of thousands. They'll get incredible data points, where their customers are coming from, how their customers are buying their token as well. But it's just trying to get new liquidity and get mass adoption into DeFi. How do you do that? We've got to start at the beginning. Make it easy for people to buy. Give them that Amazon feel. When you go on Amazon, you can just buy anything, it's done. When I turn up to McDonald's and I want to buy McFlurry, I don't want to buy McDonald's coin. I don't need to buy it. I don't need a credit note. I just buy it. And that's what we need to do with DeFi. We just need to go in there and just, I want to buy daCat, boom, done, $200, 2 clicks, tokens in the wallet. I want to swap that token for any token, regardless of chain, done, click, instant swap. And that's what we need in the space. And once we've got that, a few things will happen. People will start moving down from exchanges more into DeFi because it's like an exchange, and it's that easy peasy way of doing it. And vice versa, projects will start paying crazy amounts of money to go into exchanges because they don't need to anymore. And it's power to the projects for the first time ever, where a project, say, doesn't have to get paid a fortune, they don't have to use tokens, they don't have to use their own personal money. They can just get listed like that, and it's done.
So this has been a problem since forever, since crypto. I mean, some people use the ONCHAIN bridge, some people use, like, there's a base bridge, like there's a bunch of bridges out there, and all have attempted to just do it kind of for their own native token. But why hasn't anyone tried to tackle this problem? It seems like this is like $1 billion problem or $1 billion solution.
Yeah.
Why hasn't anyone tried to do this before? Is it technically insane? Does it take a lot of money up front to do? Tell us about it.
Put it this way, it's taken us literally 4 years. This hasn't been 2 weeks. 4 years of development, planning, designing, failing as well, because you're not going to get it right on the first go. We have a vision, and you hit the nail on the head. We're either very stupid to build this, or it's genius. But the question is, why hasn't anyone else has? And the argument is they have, but everyone has tried. Loads of people have tried and failed hard. Now, when you have the traditional ramps, MoonPay, Transact, the ones that we know of today, that we see everywhere, especially in these exchanges, they don't go to token. And the reason why they don't, because they don't need to, because there's no competition for any ramp going to token. So they just go to gas, and they make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions because there is no competition underneath them. But yes, you are right. Once that player comes along and goes in there and takes the market, then they have to sort of shift, sort of thing. But their stack, how they built their stack, can't do tokens. It's not physically designed to do it, to do anything on chain. So yeah, it's taken us a long while. Lawyers, patents, compliance, regulations, licenses. It takes a long time. And it has been hell. I'm not going to lie. It's been absolutely horrible and hell, especially dealing with compliance and regulations and licensing. But we've gone from 0 to 1 literally the last few weeks that no one has ever done. Now, the next step is to get out properly out of beta. We're on Ethereum, Base, and Polygon networks. And of course, Solana and BSC will come very, very shortly this year. But then after that, you're all right. We've got to design this perfect wallet where a trust wallet, a MetaMask, a Phantom, even though they've done a great service throughout the years, they don't do much. You can't buy any token. You can only buy gas with a third provider ramp. You can't swap anything with anything. You have to bridge. But imagine a wallet, your own account, where you won't even hear the word bridge. You won't hear the word ramp. You won't hear the word off ramp. It will just be buying something literally in a couple of clicks. Like, well, you won't feel like you're moving money from your personal account to the crypto world. It will just feel like buying, just like Amazon. You got an Amazon wallet, and then you'll just swap asset for asset, USD value for USD value, and then when you want to get rid of it, sell it straight away. Perfect. But it's ridiculously hard. But the whole power is what we've designed, and you've probably seen it. It's a complete Web 2 flow. It's designed for someone with zero experience in crypto, like zero. Your mom with no education, but she can still buy the token. No hand holding, no YouTube channeling. It is literally, once you've done the KYC once, it is 2 clicks. Type the amount in and type your card details in, press buy. Tokens land in the wallet under 60 seconds. It's pretty remarkable, but yeah, there's still a long way to go. There's so much to build. We can do anything with this. This is the crazy thing. I get a lot of people asking about NFTs, and yeah, we can do that eventually. How about an e-commerce shop where you can turn up with crypto? Yeah, we can do that. We own the payment rails. We don't use these third parties, bits and bobs. Of course, we've got some bits of third parties of like KYC and stuff, but the overall technology is owned by us. But yeah, it's very, very exciting now for DeFi for the first time ever, because even today I had someone text me saying, do you know any calls? Do you know any people? I'm like, okay, that's great. You've got influencers and stuff, but people can't get to you in the first place. How are you supposed to attract new trade? How are you supposed to get someone on a different chain to come to you? All you're going to be hitting is the people on the same chain. That's all you're going to be hitting, unless they're willing to be lazy and go through the flows of fiat to Binance, to wallet, to this, or swap bridging. It is literally, you are literally connecting everything together to make it instant and flawless and seamless. And that's when you win as a project. And you have a project on Ethereum. Imagine tomorrow you opened your whole world up to every single chain, so every token can get to you in one click, and every single payment method from Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, Alipay, GrabPay can get to you in a couple of clicks. You open up the whole world, compared to at the moment you're only owning the Ethereum chain. That's it. That's all you got.
So we got people excited that Solana and BSC are coming soon, saying that's lit. I just acquired some more SHIRO recently. That's not financial advice for anyone. You had said that over the course of the 4 years, like obviously the first couple times you tried doing this, you failed. I want to go into that. A lot of times before people go in and use a product or get behind something, they really like to learn more about who's behind it. It does me a lot of good, or it helps me decide, like, okay, this is not something that was easily done. It's taken a while. It's clear that you said you had failed the first couple of times. Prior to this, can you talk about some of like your biggest failures and how you responded to that, how you reacted to those over the years?
Yeah, it's a great question. The best way to try to describe it in a very simple way is when you first build the future, you don't really know how it's going to look. You know you want to get there. So what you end up doing is you build what I call a Frankenstein model. You use all these third parties and connect them all up. It's slow, it's clunky, it doesn't work. And crypto is not really built at the moment for payments. It's not built for speed. There's a lot of things that have never been developed. And of course, there are stuff that have been developed. KYC has been developed quite nicely now, but there's a lot of things that haven't. So the other thing is like MoonPay. Let's use MoonPay for a great example. MoonPay takes about 20 minutes to an hour, depending on the chain, to actually receive gas. Okay, I'm a Web 2 person. I'm used to Web 2 world. I'm not going to wait 20 minutes or watch this thing going around for 20 minutes until my Ethereum turns up. It's not what I want. I need it instantly or under a minute at least. So how do you go up against the biggest player out there who just goes to gas, and we have to go to token, and we've got to be 50 to 100 times quicker? That's a big task. Again, so you're building these fragments and adding third parties, and then slowly but surely you realize how to do each piece, and you build each piece individually. And then you start changing different third parties, why they're better. Okay, they've got some technology in there that works, but 50% of it's good, 50% of it's bad. And slowly but surely you take all the good parts and you rebuild and reshuffle and you build it. A lot of people use a lot of third parties, and that's fine, nothing against all that. The problem is if one of those third parties goes down, your whole system goes down because you're reliant on a third party. We don't want that situation. We want to be in full control of everything. So we built every single piece. And slowly but surely you start putting all the pieces together and getting the thing faster and faster. You go from 20 minutes to 10 minutes, 10 minutes to 5 minutes. Great, fantastic. How do you get treasuries? How do you get replenishment systems? You end up having this perfect thing, and then you patent it. And to patent anything in crypto, technology in crypto is ridiculously hard because it's technology, and we've got the patents for it. So that's really fantastic stuff. People don't really know this, but we actually also own the trademark for the word on-chain, and that word alone in the space is worth a fortune. Yes, it's taken us quite.
How much did that cost you?
Well, it's not as simple as a cost because you have to buy countries. And then you have to then have a protocol that does a batch of countries. So you have to buy individual countries first, and then you have to go for the batch, and then you have to go for another batch, and then surely you own that trademark in all these different countries. But yeah, it was a pretty penny, should we say? But it's worth it because that word is on-chain. I get this all the time. Ben, loads of people use the word on-chain. It doesn't matter. We're not here to sue people because they use the word. It's just we own the word, and that is powerful moving forward, and it's great for SEO, of course. But yeah, going back to your question, it's just building, changing, swapping, literally fragmented Frankenstein models, and slowly you get there eventually.
That's such a flex. That's like, it's like people pulling up to an event in their supercars, but you pull up to the event in your helicopter. It's like, yeah, this is my chopper. And it's such a beast mode of oh God, would you ever sell it? I guess not, right? Like now, as you start generating revenue, you're not going to need to. That's the other thing. How did you guys fund this for 4 years without taking in any money?
We have taken money. We've had some great venture capitals who've really seen in our vision. Their argument's the same as your vision. Like, if you build this is the biggest thing that's going to hit DeFi. Not just literally the ramp alone is worth a lot of money, right? Because that alone is massive, let alone swapping anything with anything, let alone the bank, let alone the on-chain card that's coming into the wallet, let alone the wallet, let alone the dashboard. All these incredible features are coming down the line. But going to your other question, would you ever sell it? It's one of these things. I can't remember what celebrity it was or what owner. He's like, I wouldn't sell my business. The reason why, as soon as I sell it, I'll just build the same business again because it's my passion. It's what I do. What else do you do with your life? You're building the future. Why would you want to give that up? It's pretty cool.
Agreed. So when you've had these VCs, and this is probably going to be private, but I feel like you could answer whatever you want to answer. Is that part done, and how much of the company might you guys have left? Like, is there any worry about like, well, actually we're at like 51% now, we can't really sell anymore?
No, we had a good chunk, but there's two parts to that question. So there's the money side and there's the partner side, right? So we have people obviously want to give us money to invest. So, it's a lot of money. We're talking about millions here. We're not talking about 10,000 quid. We're talking in the millions. But it's not about the money. The money's great. It's about the partner. What does the partner bring to the table? What doors can they open for us? There could be a chain. There could be someone in the private sector that has access to everything. I'm not saying Jeff Bezos, but if Jeff Bezos opens his doors to us and goes, look, I'll get you on Amazon tomorrow, that is worth a huge amount of money. But so it's about the balance of the two. But no, we'll never stop raising money. The reason is there's so much to develop with this technology. We can change a lot of things and change the game. You'll be able to one day turn up to an NFT with, say, a Solana NFT, and I can buy it with a base token. Like, I can just turn up with the wrong token on the wrong chain and buy it, and a token to an NFT, and it will just do it for me. Like, I don't have to think, I don't have to learn it. It will just do everything for me. And that's what we're trying to design and build. The on-chain card that's coming this year as well will be a card in the wallet, a virtual card, and you'll be able to use any asset in your wallet as payment for anything in the real world. Now, as you guys probably know, there's a lot of cards out there. They're prepaid cards. That's as far as crypto has got so far in the decentralized world, where you have to move money, so tokens, and ramp it onto the card like a USDC, and then you can use that USDC around in the shops. But that's not how the real world works. I don't ramp money onto my card in the real world. I just take my card and I buy things. So again, that will be coming in, the first card where you can buy anything in your wallet. Just tap it, take your groceries, walk out the shop, and that'll be coming this year as well.
So now that you have, obviously you have SHIRO on there, you got daCat on there, got Volt on there. I love Volts. They're pretty awesome. What are some reasons why communities would want to get on there? Like, what type of tiers do you have, options for payment, et cetera, and what do they get for those specific tiers?
Yeah, we normally talk about payments only to token projects, not really to communities, because it's not really their concern. But I'll just tell you anyway. So we charge a very small fee. Think MoonPay, to get listed on a MoonPay is like tens and tens and tens of thousands.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's insane. Even to go on, I don't know, you can tell me more than I do. I've never done it before, but to go on CoinMarketCap, it's what, $5,000? And what do you get on CoinMarketCap?
You get a lot of wrong numbers, I'll tell you that. They always fudge up like the circulating supply and total supply, and you have to keep emailing them, and they're from this foreign country and they don't answer back for days. It's horrible. I'm sorry for laughing out there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to flag CoinMarketCap, I like slagging companies off, but you don't get a lot for your money. You just get data points that half the time aren't really that great. But you can't buy, you can't swap, you can't sell. So it's just you're sending people to these platforms, Dex Tools, Dex Screener. Okay, yes, they're a lot cheaper, but okay, I send someone to Dex Tools, can't buy with fiat, I can't swap anything with anything, I can't sell it. So you're sending, all these projects are sending people to these platforms, not disrespecting them. And these platforms you cannot convert. So you're sending people to a dead end. It's like me sending you an Amazon link to a product and you can't buy that product on that link. What's the point? You need a place where you can see data points like Dex Tools, Dex Screener, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, but you can convert your customer. And that's what you need to get maximum conversions. The other thing is, you probably realize this, is payment links. So these payment links are huge. Volt is a great example. Volt's been on for a few weeks now. Do you know they've done over 25,000 USD on our ramp? That's new liquidity from outside of crypto coming into crypto on our beta version, not the full scale anywhere. That's just on the ramp on beta. They've done over 25,000 US dollars of brand new liquidity going into their liquidity pool. And it just shows the power of these payment links. And what they do is really clever. And I want everyone to listen up who's watching this show as well, because you have to do it as well. You guys have a token, SHIRO, daCat as well. You have tokens and you have a community. And every day these communities post every single day on X, on Facebook, whatever. For now, for the first time, they can have their own payment links. They can have their own QR codes. And every time they post, don't just do a random post, buy SHIRO, it's the best token ever, it's going to do 100x. Then put the payment link. Send, again, conversion. Make people convert. Again, a lot of people, and it's every token, not just you guys, but every token, they have their contract address on X. They'll have their contract address in Telegram. I'm a newbie. What's a contract address? I don't care about a contract address. give me a link to buy. Like literally, I want to press a button and buy. I don't want to be copying and pasting and then figuring out what DEX and what website, and stop giving me hurdles. Just give me the link to buy. And this is what Vault have done fantastically well. Is every community member, every single post they do, they put the link at the bottom. And that's where they get all these new people that Vault itself could never have got, but their communities are going out with these links, and people are seeing these links and buying Vault via these links. And again, no other place that does that. So we give out these incredible payment links direct to the token. And when you buy on the ramp, it creates you an account within the flow. It's one-time KYC. And then it's literally after you've done the KYC once, it's just 2 clicks and you can buy a token in under 60 seconds.
You hear that, daCat people? We got to step our game up and just start posting links, because I don't think it would be that big of an issue for a first-time user if it was just, hey, what's the link? Like if it was just one contract address, but after, here's the address for bridging, here's the contract address, here's the address that we have to send Ethereum to in order to swap it, and then here's the address to send it back to your personal wallet. Like that gets into, like, one wouldn't be too bad, but the fact that you have to do you have to send Ethereum one place, you have to swap it, then you have to send it back to another. Yeah, it's insane.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That would all change. Here's a link. You can do whatever you want on that link. Buy, swap, and sell with anything. Google Pay, Prompt Pay, Gcash, debit card, credit card, bank transfer, swap token for token soon. Again, it's all going to change. Stop sending me to, and it happens all the time. I say, how do I buy your token in Telegram? And I guarantee, I'm not been in your Telegram, I guarantee you send me to a DEX where I can't buy. I can only swap.
So a lot of times they do send the contract address, because like if you're in Telegram, you probably already know, but yeah, for any new person, like, again, throwing it up on Facebook, they're not going to know what the heck to do. But if you're up that link to ONCHAIN, it's probably going to be a bit easier. Generally, when they do that, they're going to incur some fees, like anywhere they go, whether it's from Coinbase wallet, whether it's from Binance wallet, they're going to have those fees. Can you tell us a bit of the difference about the fees that you have versus everywhere else? Because obviously you're doing this insane service, and the service is going to cost a little bit of money. Can you tell us how much extra people generally have to pay for that? And if it's a fixed rate?
It's not extra, it's less, believe it or not. So let me explain to you how it's less, because people get like a bit confused. So let's use Ethereum as a great example. If I had to use Coinbase wallet or anything, they use traditional ramps. Okay, that's what they do. So they'll use the MoonPays of the world. Now MoonPay charge 5% flat fee. That's how much they charge, and that is just to Ethereum. And then you've got gas in there as well. So just use for argument's sake, it's $15 for gas. Just use that for argument's sake. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. So literally, what they'll do is you'll have 2 sets of gas. You'll have the gas from fiat to Ethereum, that gas of $15 plus the 5%. Then they'll charge you for the swapping plus the gas. So you've got another 15 plus the swap plus the DEX fees. So you're paying $30 plus all the 5% charges. With us, it's a little bit different. So our charges are around about between 2.5%, so about 50% less than MoonPay, and you only pay 1 set of gas. So instead of paying that £30, you're paying £15 as an example. So if you did it yourself on these platforms, or you just went down a traditional ramp or around an exchange to a wallet, you're probably paying double the amount of money in fees than if you go with ourselves. Now, I get this question a lot. Why are you so cheap compared to everyone else? And the reason is we want mass adoption. That's how we're doing it. We could have put our fees as next to the MoonPays of the world, and people still would have paid it because they have no other choice. They would have paid it. But how do you get mass adoption? Again, this is what's so important to us. For you as a project, we want you to get as much buys in there as possible. Now, if you're paying $4 on $200 or $150, if I did it manually, it will cost me $15, $12, $18, whatever. So we're a lot cheaper if you go through our route because of how we built it than if you did it all manually or through these Binances and stuff like that.
Awesome. So when you talk about those fees, and I know you said that there's a bit less of them, but do you use 1 inch to how do you aggregate to the pool?
Again, imagine you said 1 inch because we did 1 inch in our Frankenstein model, and then what happened was 1 inch changed their code overnight, didn't tell anyone, and our system broke, and we're like, oh, we're going to now build our own router. That's how we did it. So we built our own one, so it doesn't go down. Audited it, 10 out of 10, of course, and we built that system ourselves. But 1 inch is it's not built for speed, it's not built for payments, but a lot of people use it, and that's fine. We used it as well at the beginning. So we built a router for payments. We built a router for speed. So it literally does everything in like super 0.000 of a second sort of thing. But again, it's great you mentioned it because, again, that was actually part of our Frankenstein model. We used that part to see if it can be built, and then it's taking each piece out and rebuilding it.
Yeah, because that was, I mean, I was wondering how do you get to the pool? Like if for daCat, there's only one, it's just Uniswap, where something like SHARBI. Actually, all that up, can you tell me all the places you can buy SHARBI? Because I know you're on Base, but then I know there's other places as well, and there's bridges. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Base in Solana. I'm sitting here thinking about how I'm Ben's mom, and it's kind of, it takes a little humility, but I think it's been the hardest thing for me is like buying. I'm really, lucky to have a partner that can do it all. And it's funny because you would think that I should be like an expert right now because I live with someone that can do anything on any blockchain, but it just doesn't compute, right? Like I set my mom up, like he was saying in the beginning, I set my mom up and we had to do like a screenshot, she's in a different state, and it took like 3.5 hours. And now I sometimes, I still have to walk her through how to check it. And the idea of and I've been thinking about it for 2.5 years, that like, if this technology that they have created, like it will lead to that mass adoption, because even me being in the space for 2.5 years, I've seen so many transactions. I've seen, I'm in these telegrams, and it's Web3 and crypto is talked about all day, but there's still that fear when I get to like even sending someone a payment, right? I'm like, I get nervous. I don't like doing it at all. I don't even like opening my wallet. There's like this fear attached to it, which it's taken 2.5 years just to get comfortable with doing something without someone looking over my shoulder. So I am Ben's mom in that, like, having this technology and the ability to go in and buy a project this way, the users are going to be their marketing tool. Like they're going to go out and that's what they get to share. And that's what be like, oh no, I don't know anything about Bitcoin blockchain. Like, no, look, you can just buy it right here. So as there's this mass adoption with ONCHAIN, it's going to market itself too, which I think is phenomenal. So it's really exciting. But yeah, even, the ability to just do a transaction and bridge and swap, and people don't even know what those words are, right? If they're new and they want to get into crypto, like I didn't know a lot of the acronyms in crypto. So like swap, bridge, like anyway, it's just really exciting sitting here listening to it. And I anticipate such a mass adoption and things like this, the 4 years, Ben, it probably feels like 24. We've been building a platform for a year and I feel like it's been 5, but the good things take time and we're so early. It's just so exciting for you guys. Just kudos and keep going.
The great thing is what we really want to achieve is quite a few things, but the next sort of 12 months, one of our goals is people will stop mentioning, and it takes a minute to plug this into your brain, right? Because it does take a little while because we're so used to crypto. I want to plant a seed where, imagine a world where you'll never need to mention what chain you're on. You never need to mention the chain. You never need to mention Ethereum, Solana, Base. Well, I'm on Base chain. I'm on Solana. Why does that matter to a customer? Why can't I just buy and swap and sell? Well, I don't need to know what chain you're on. It's irrelevant to the customer. It's irrelevant to the project because they picked that chain for a reason. There's gas or this, X, Y, and Z. But the customer doesn't care. The customer just wants your token. When I buy something on Amazon, I don't care about all the other stuff. I just want to buy the thing. You know, when I buy my McFlurry, I don't care where it came from or the powder. I just want to buy my McFlurry.
I kind of care where my food came from, just a little bit.
Yeah, that's a little bit. And this is why things like Visa and MasterCard changed the game, right? Visa and MasterCard changed the game because it meant I can go to any country in the world and I can tap this piece of plastic and it would take money out of my UK bank account and give it to the end user in Thai baht or Filipino pesos, wherever country I'm in, right? It would just work. I tap it, it does it. I don't care how it works. I don't care. I just want it to work. And it's the same with the end user. They don't want to do the whole let's exchange money and go to a money exchange, take 20 minutes to in an exchange shop to swap our money and then take that money over as a credit note and then spend that money in these places. I just want to be cashless, and cashless now is the future of everything. And it's the same with this. I don't want to wait 20 minutes for Ethereum, and I don't want to take that Ethereum over to buy a token. I just want to turn up with my debit card and it works. And that's how Visa and MasterCard monopolize the whole market with this beautiful transferring. And that's what we're sort of building, is this taking all that hoops and loops out that you don't need to care about and just buy the asset you want to buy. If I want to buy SHIRO on Ethereum or Base, it will just do it for me. Like I just buy my debit card. I don't care about the back end.
Is it a one, and I don't know this, but is it one transaction, or is there like a portal where you can see like, oh, I bought this, I bought daCat, I bought SHIRO, I bought like Volt, like does it show you your like transaction history, like your user profile, or is it just like a end-to-end one transaction done and then you start your new one, or does it save all that data?
Oh, it will save the data of the tokens you brought, how much you brought them, the time. Okay. And of course, you can also go on the scanners, Sol Scanner, BSC Scanner. It's all on chain. It's all from the liquidity pool that's on chain already. So you have all those as well. But yes, in the on-chain wallet, you have the transaction history and you can see it all. Click on it and it will take it over to the scanners as well.
And side note, I took my kids to the movies and tried to use cash, and the little 17-year-old girl selling us popcorn said, "Sorry, we don't take cash." And my mouth dropped and I was like, oh my gosh, like this.
Don't they have to? Isn't that like legal tender that they have to accept?
I couldn't pay. No, I don't know. She said, "Sorry, we don't accept cash payments anymore."
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And they own like all the big theaters in San Antonio. And it's so crazy because I grew up with a parent that had no debit card, no ATM card. Like cash was king to my dad. Like I never have seen my dad use like a debit or credit card. And so it's like, huh?
No, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, no. So it was crazy. I was like envisioning if my dad was standing there because he just likes cash, and I was like, she said, "No. What other? Do you have another form of payment? Apple Pay or card?" And I'm like, but I had this cash, and now if I get cash though, it sits in my wallet forever. I'm like trying to find somewhere to use it because everything's done through my phone, and you get out your card when you have to. It's just wild. It's changing. And yeah, so the movie theaters don't take cash anymore here in our town.
Can't even launder money in this country anymore.
But that's the thing. I think there was a food, I can't remember if it was a drive-through somewhere and they didn't take cash. But then I was thinking, well, to save on the employee cost, no one has to go to the bank. No one has to do a drop deposit at the bank at night. They don't even want to spend the money handling the cash. They have to pay an employee to take it. They have to reconcile the records. It's saving them money. It's all electronic and all the data is already there in the reports. And there's it lowers their risk of missing cash, or whatever. Yeah. But so I think people are just slowly gonna, get away from using cash at all, which is, it's crazy, but happening.
I do not like that.
I agree with you.
There was a bar in Las Vegas I went to a few months back, and it had robots making the drinks, and it just gave me like the John Connor like ick. I was like, oh no, it's happening. So,
It's happening.
yeah, the lack of, oh God, that's, I mean, it's good for you for OnChain. Speaking of which, now that you guys have started taking in some funds here, are you guys going to do like a lot of other people and open like a Bitcoin reserve? Where are some of those funds going? Where's that allocation of that capital going to go next to grow the company?
I'm going to tell you this, and I shouldn't tell you it, but I'm going to tell you it anyway, because it sounds too good to be true. And I don't want to come across as, sorry for swearing, as a Billy BBSer. Yeah, I don't like swearing. Sorry, I'm English. And but it's hard to explain because no one believed we could build the RAM, and we've done it. No one believes that we can do any to any, but yet we have built it. But the next thing is so out of people's minds that it can't be done, but it's gonna come, right? So we're gonna have this next year, and this is where the bulk of the money will go to. And that will be pretty much the on-chain bank. And what that means is in your on-chain wallet, you'll have sort code, account numbers, and IBAN numbers in your wallet. So what that means is for everyone listening in, this word ramp will vanish. You don't ramp, when you have a bank account, you don't ramp money into your bank. You deposit money, your wages, someone sends you money, whatever. Mostly it's wages, right? And so how do you get mass adoption from crypto in the real world together? What you do is very simple. It's not simple, it's hard to build. You literally create a DeFi bank where you can literally deposit your wages into your on-chain bank. And of course, it does everything a bank can do. So it'll stay in stable coin, but to the customer, it will just say GBP account, or if you're US, it'll say your USD accounts, just like normal. But in there, you can also buy, swap, sell anything with anything. And this is the great thing. Not only can you deposit your wages into this account, because you can give your employee your sort code and account number. So he doesn't know it's a crypto account. He just pays your wages into it. And then vice versa. You can do things like direct debits. You can pay your gas, your electric, your water, your heating, your car insurance, your rent, your Netflix with any token or stable or whatever. Anything that's in your wallet, you can do direct debits. Why? Because you have sort code and account numbers. And you just set up your Netflix with your sort code like normal, and you pay with daCat or SHIRO. You can literally pay your direct debits with this, as well as you'll have the on-chain card in the wallet as well, where you can go to any shop in the world and use any asset that's in the wallet. So what you're getting is a bank account that can do everything and have crypto in there and have DeFi tokens and do everything. So you're not going to be on-ramping money from your bank account to your on-chain account and buy tokens. It's going to be one account that does everything. Deposit your ways, pay direct debits, buy, swap, sell, whatever you want to do. It will do everything. And that's our goal. And that's the mass adoption masterpiece. But to build this, you have to build the ramp, you've got to build the swap, you've got to build the sell, you've got to build the X, the Y, the Z, the sort code, the card. It's all a stage process. But next year, this masterpiece will be in place.
So you have a bank charter now, right?
The bank will come next year.
Okay. And
but we're applying with licenses as we speak, ready for the bank.
Virtual asset protector license?
So at the moment, we've got the VAS license that's just come in recently over the last few months. It's a big one.
That is hard to get. That takes several months. So that's a big step.
Yeah, and then the CAS will be one thing we're looking into and going through again. Very, very hard to get. These licenses are ridiculously hard, and believe it or not, a lot of places don't have them. We're doing everything the right way, compliance, regulations. Yes, it's harder. I understand it's harder. The other thing that we've done, again, we could have made a lot more money, is we have a clearing protocol in our platform. So we don't accept every single token in our platform. You can't just sign up and get onto the on-chain wallet and on-chain exchange, on-chain wherever. You can't. We have a clearing protocol. If you go to sign up, it instantly scans your smart contract, gives you green flag or red flag. Green flag is you're good to go, scan your smart contract. We've done the research for the customer saying you're the decentish token as minimum requirements in the space. If you're a red flag, there's something in your smart contract we do not like. Open liquidity. So unlock liquidity, where you can rug. Aggressive mint functions, high buy and sell tax, something that your mom or my mom can't read a smart contract. So we need to make sure these people buying these tokens in our ecosystem are safe from all the scammers of the world. So what you end up having is this amazing place to buy tokens, and it's a bank. Everyone want to be a part of it. Like every token has to be a part of it. But if you're a dodgy player, you won't get in. Simple.
So I feel like a lot of banks, especially in Europe, really don't like crypto stuff. I know that I think France is considered like high risk, which is insane. How did you go and get that license to deal with crypto in banks? Like, how did they prove that?
Well, to be a bank is hard. It's not easy, and that's where a lot of money goes towards. You can't just open a bank up tomorrow. It costs a lot of money. You need a lot of lawyers. You need a lot of compliance people. It takes time. We've been planning for this for a while. That is our end game, as well as other things, of course. But that is the ultimate end game. Going back to your questions about banks, right? So a lot of people's banks don't like crypto. You mentioned that. So why not just move your assets to a bank that loves crypto, that is a part of crypto? So a lot of people will move all their assets to the on-chain bank because it works. Just bank transfer, because we're a bank, your assets from your bank to the on-chain bank, and you can do everything in there. So you never need to worry about, oh, my bank doesn't accept crypto. Just bank transfer across, done. And then you can do what you like. And then you're in forever. Cool. So it literally becomes a crypto-friendly bank that everyone can be a part of. And I can just go and buy SHIRO, and I'm not on-ramping money from a bank. You're part of it. You can just go in the same thing and just buy SHIRO, and it will just move money and change things around. It'd be that simple.
That's so cool. That's so epic. And I know you said next year. You thinking like Q3, Q4 next year, like second half?
I could say Q1 on here. It'll be Q4. You know, like it just. There's so much things moving parts, regulations, compliance, licenses. Things can take longer. Things getting built. It's just we're not thinking about it right now. We're planning everything out for it, but at the moment, as we just mentioned, just reel it back in. We've gone from 0 to 1 that no one has ever had. So we've sort of like not celebrating, but we're just enjoying this moment. But of course, the work has just started. Solana, BSC, we need to get out of better. We then got the any to any. We then got the card. We then got, it's like, it will never stop. But it is a very proud moment when you have released a product. A lot of tokens out there listening in will probably have that same mentality. When you release your first product, it's a great relief. But to release a product that's going to change the game, that's even cool. That's even cooler. So, but again, you, SHIRO as well, Vault, all these other tokens, you've been here for the ride, for the better, everything. We appreciate you guys. You guys saw the vision. You didn't see just a ramp. You see the bigger picture. You see where it's going to go. You want to be a part of that journey. And we really appreciate everyone in here. And I hope that all your communities does sorry for mentioning Vault, but does a Vault and gets you 25,000 the next 2 weeks into your liquidity just by pumping out those links. That's all they did. Didn't do anything masterful. They just pumped out those links to everyone. So they saw it, and that's what got those tokens bought.
Yeah, we got to pump those numbers up. They're rookie numbers, but like Christina Aguilera in 2013, we shall feel this moment and embrace it. I see the vision mostly because of Lucy in the sky with diamonds. There's this joke on the internet where they think that like Ben Franklin was like a pothead and he was just stoned all the time. Because how do you think about electricity when there is no electricity.
Yeah.
How did you think about these? Was there any help from like psilocybin? Was there any help from hallucinogens, or is it just like I woke up one day, came to me in a dream?
Steve Jobs is a great one, right? iPhones. That was never a thing. Like buttons were always a thing, right?
Yeah.
Apps were never like, think about how far in advance this thing was. And then they brought out again a Frankenstein. They brought out the iPods, music, and then they're like, we can put that into phones and create this amazing masterpiece. And Steve Jobs is a great example of, he saw the future that no one else could. And he was a master at it. And I give you another weird thing that we come up with. And again, it sounds so obvious when I say it out loud, but it's hard. Again, people get a bit confused. Let's use stable coins, right? So you have a Phantom wallet, you have a MetaMask, you have a Trust wallet, whatever it is, right? And I buy SHIRO on Base. Let's use example, right? And then I sell it and I move it to stablecoin. And then I buy a token on Solana, and then I sell it again back to stablecoin. And then I buy another token on BSC, and then I sell it and I move it back to stablecoin. In your wallet, guys, you will have 3 sets of stablecoins. You'll have $20 in Ethereum, you have $20 in Solana, you have $20 in BSC. Again, common sense here, right? I'm your mum. I have no experience in crypto. Why have I got 3 sets of stablecoins? Why can't I just have one stablecoin that had the whole amount, and I can use that stablecoin on anywhere? Just clean everything up. Make it simple. Stop complexing everything.
Keep it simple, stupid.
3 stablecoins on 3 different amounts, and I can't use those stablecoins on that token. I can't use on that. What is a BSC? What is an Ethereum? Like, I understand, we know it because we're in the space, but to get again mass adoption in, you've got to make it dumb proof. You've got to make it stablecoin is just one stablecoin, and it can do anything. It can go anywhere. And again, this is what we'll be bringing out. We've been talking to ONCHAIN directly to be the stablecoin behind the scenes, but in front, the end user doesn't care what chain it's on, as long as it's got perfectly zero gas on it. They don't care. They just want one stable, and it just that you can move that stable wherever you want. Again, it's stuff like that. It's just thinking, not what people have right now. A lot of people are building the same stuff. Metaverses, NFTs, blah, 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 right? Exchanges, blockchains. Everyone's building the same, but no one's thinking, how do I change the game? How do I do things? Just because it's done the way it's done now doesn't mean it's right. You've got to start thinking of the future, how things are going to look. And that's what we always have to think about all the time, and build it.
So why talk to somebody? Why not make your own stablecoin and then just have that be used so that this way you get those? One
day. Use it as a yield as well. Really good yield,
yeah.
3%, 4%, 5% yield a year. One day, maybe. But we have a very good relationship with USDC. Jeremy over at Circle. We have a Circle Mint account. We're very, very friendly. At the moment, we're using them. We're about to introduce USDT on BNB or BSC. That'll be coming. But yeah, one day, sure. Just not now. There's too much to do.
Speak of the devil, shall appear. What's up, Jed? How's it going? From the Volt community. Everyone say hi.
Ben, I'm so curious. How big is your team?
Oh, good question. So there's a lot of full-timers and there's a lot of part-timers. I would say in total, if you add it all up, it's between 15 and 20 at a Pure Guide.
Okay. Awesome.
I think there's always 12 that always turn up for our weekly meeting, but there's always it's time difference in different countries. So there's always 3 or 4 or 5 of them that are never there for whatever reasons.
We love Jen. She loves us. 3 of our favorite people. We have kept you for about an hour right here. Anything that we missed that you want to go over, or anything else? Any last thoughts?
I do apologize. I've taken over, and I do really apologize.
No, you're good.
No, this is you. This is
I love this.
I do too.
I'm really sorry. I know we're here for SHIRO and daCat as well. And obviously, I just want to say before we finish, appreciate you guys for, again, seeing the vision, being along the way with us. It is a better as we speak. It's been hard, and any support, I know it's never going to be 100% perfect out of the gate. There are going to be the odd issue, bugs, whatever, and we're battling through everything at the moment. The ramp is in a very good place right now, and yeah, onwards and upwards this year. Love to see where we are this time next year, and I think in August we'll start onboarding projects. You guys, because of Jin right here, are giving you guys earlier access than everyone else just because of this young lady. But yeah, there's a lot of projects ready to be moved across. At the moment, as I just like to mention, if anyone is listening who's close to a token or has a token that's on the base chain, the Ethereum chain, or the Polygon chain, even Solana, you can still reach out. It's absolutely fine. I can get you prepped, ready to go. In a couple of weeks, we'll start onboarding a few hundred projects, hopefully, into the ecosystem. Settle with that for a little while and then go for another. But yeah, our goal is this time next year, 2,000 projects in the ecosystem, but quality projects. We won't accept the crap along the bottom. And then we own DeFi. Everything will go through us. Everything. Buy, swaps, and sells. No more bridging ever again. No more ramping ever again. No need to go on an exchange ever again. Never need to tell anyone what chain you're on ever again. No warning pop-ups ever again. No need to send people to DEX Tools, DEX Screener, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, because they can't buy anyway. We'll have all that stuff in our platform. Plus, as I said, we'll have the wallets, the sort code account numbers, the IBANs, the card, whatever. It's a long process, but it's scary at the same time. It is really scary. You're dealing with a lot of people. People say to us all the time, do you have a token? No. No. You guys are our community. The project owners are our community. We can't have a community on a community. It'll be too much headache. We've got too much going on to deal with a token. But love everyone that's been a part of the ramp, part of the on-chain journey. Please, you haven't tried it, please try it out. Even if it's $50, $100, whatever. Just buy some beautiful tokens. Do the KYC just once, then you're done. And then onwards and upwards. And you can then buy these things. But again, just everyone listening in, one last quick thing. Make sure when you go on X, make sure you get these payment links. They'll give it to you. Those payment links, make sure you just put on every single post and get buys into the charts. Stop just sending a post out and it doesn't do anything. It's just pointless. Convert. And again, appreciate everyone's time.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to start doing that today. I just messaged a couple of my guys. I was like, hey, do you ever look into this? Because I wanted to get them on here because it's a great way to get some more buys in the community. All dolled up. Final thoughts?
I leave it with Sharbi.
Oh, I just thank you. Great seeing you again. It's like it almost feels surreal. It's like unreal. It's going to bring so much value, and I'm just excited to continue to watch the journey. I think like a year ago we had met and talked on the hot seat, or 6 months ago, and just to have it be here is super exciting. And so yeah, maybe we can have you back for an update in the near future.
Always valuable for you guys, and I appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah, this will be great. We'll end it here. We'll talk off camera for a little bit. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. We love you. Until next time. Link down below.